Hi everyone, welcome back to 50 Ways to Find Yourself. My name is Elizabeth. If you're new here and you don't know what this series is or what I'm talking about, please go back and watch episode number 1 of this series. That'll explain kind of what's going on, why I'm doing this, etc. But for everyone who does know what's going on, I'm going to get into today's topic, which is doing things by yourself, doing things alone, even if it's nerve wracking or scary and makes you nervous, whatever it may be. I'm a person who likes to spend time alone, but I don't do a lot of new things alone. And it's something that I've wanted to get more into recently because you can't always rely on people to do things with you. And it's also really important to experience things on your own and try new things without needing somebody else there with you. So, right now, if you're wondering what back room am I filming in? Right now, I am in Boston on my own and I'm staying in a hostel. Um, so I am in one bed in an 8 bed room. There's only one other girl in the room currently. When I got here, there were 3 other girls staying in this room. Now there's only one. And actually, she's going to be here the whole time I'm here as well. I talked to her a little bit yesterday when I got here. But, and she's not here right now, otherwise I wouldn't be filming. Yeah, so I grew up in Boston, kind of. I lived in Boston for the first 6 years of my life. Um, and I love Boston. It's my favorite city in the US. It's awesome. So I wanted to take a trip to Boston because it's been a while. I haven't been to Boston since 2022. And it's, like I said, one of my favorite places to visit. And I'm applying to 2 grad schools in the Boston area, one in Boston, one about 30 minutes outside. So I decided to take time over winter break to go to Boston, visit the schools I'm interested in, and just hang out in some places I've been to before, some places I've never been to, and just, get to experience the city on my own in a new way. Um, and I'll be honest, when I got here last night, I flew in, took the train to where I'm staying. Luckily for me, there was a train station like literally a 2-minute walk from where I'm staying. But when I got here and I got in the bed and, I was just hanging out, decompressing, flying is a overwhelming experience. I felt this real sense of loneliness. I was like, oh my God, I'm alone. I'm completely alone. Which isn't entirely true. There were 3 other girls in the room, but you know what I mean. I am without anybody that I know, um, and I'm by myself, and I'm gonna be by myself for the next 6 days, and that kind of freaked me out. Um, I wasn't totally sure how to feel about it. Um, but I told a couple friends, I was like, okay, I'm feeling this right now, but I think once I eat something and then once I get settled in, like I'll feel better. So I went and I got food again by myself. And then I came back, I settled in, I watched some TV, I did some journaling, and felt a lot better. I felt a lot more comfortable. And today has been awesome. I went to Cambridge, which is where I grew up, the part of Boston that I grew up in, and I visited the 2 places that I used to live. And it was just really nostalgic for me. Yeah, so I was able to visit some places that I used to live, some places I remember, some places that were really important to me, and it was nostalgic and it was fun and it was kind of nice because I could really set my own pace and do whatever I wanted to do, which you can't do when you're traveling with other people. When you're traveling with other people, you have to set an itinerary with them. You have to figure out what you want to do, what I would want to do, what they would want to do, etc. So it's kind of nice to just be able to do whatever I want. Like, I don't have a plan for this trip. I know the things that I want to do, but I don't have days set out for when I'm going to do them. I'm just kind of doing them. A couple other things that I want to talk about that I've done alone recently is in October, at the beginning of October, I went to see Lorde, and my plans for who I was going to go with fell through last minute. and I couldn't find anybody else to go with, and I decided, hey, this is a concert that I really want to go to. I'm not going to waste the money by not going, so I'm just going to go. So I drove to Pittsburgh by myself. I went to the concert alone, drove home alone, and I had a great time. I had so much fun, and it was kind of nice because I had tickets for seats, so I had an extra seat next to me. So I actually had a lot of room. I had a lot of room to, dance and sing along and whatever. And it was such a good time. It was so, so much fun. And I was able to see friends at the end because I did have friends that were there. So I was able to see a couple people at the end. But for the vast majority of the experience, I was just totally by myself. And yeah, I was really nervous going into it, but I had a great time. I really, really enjoyed it. And that was kind of what kicked off this whole video idea of doing things alone. It has grown into a bigger thing because that was before I decided I wanted to go to Boston over winter break. And I think that was part of why I was so comfortable going to Boston over winter break. I knew that I enjoy doing things by myself. I enjoy being alone and experiencing things on my own. And I thought that was pretty cool. The other thing that comes to mind is the other day I was like, I really want to go bowling, but I don't have anyone to go bowling with. And I just decided not to go. And then I talked to a friend of mine who like did bowling in high school and goes bowling sometimes. And I was like, I wanted to go by myself, but I thought that was kind of lame. And he was like, I think it's normal to go bowling alone. So I ended up going bowling by myself. I played, I think, 4 games, maybe 3. I don't remember. But I'm not super great at it, but it's something I enjoy. And again, I had a really nice time on my own. And so I think what I'm learning through this experience is that you don't always need people with you to enjoy things. So yeah, I'm spending the next, well, I guess now 5 days by myself. I am going to meet up with a childhood friend at some point during this trip, but for all intents and purposes, I'm on my own for the next 5 days. And day one has been great. So I'm gonna insert some clips of my trip. They are not filmed with a mic because I feel awkward about filming like with a mic in public. So the audio quality is not going to be as good. I apologize in advance. But I'm going to insert some clips from my trip so far, and then end of the week me is going to do a kind of a wrap up outro and explain things I've enjoyed, things I haven't enjoyed, and things that I've learned from this experience. This is where I grew up. I spent my childhood playing on this little playground in the middle. I lived in one of those apartments over there, I think. My parents would remember exactly, but unfortunately I do not. But that's where I grew up. I have a lot of fond memories here. I miss it. This is Westgate. I grew up right on MIT's campus, and yeah, it's really fun to be back. Right now I'm visiting Boston University. It's one of my grad school options, and this is the Charles River. Across the river is MIT's campus. This is Boston University's campus. If you see that Sit Go sign right there, that is kind of a Boston landmark. To put it in Pittsburgh terms for my Pennsylvania viewers, it's effectively like the Iron City sign on Mount Washington, except that they have never replaced it. It has been there, and it has looked just like that since I was born, probably for many years before that as well. It's my second full day of my trip. I am about to go see Marty Supreme. I'm behind a poster of one of my favorite movies ever, Good Will Hunting. But this is another thing that I'm doing alone. I'm going to see a movie by myself. I think I've done this before, but it's been a long time, so I will update on how the movie is. It's the next day. I liked the movie, I think. I need to see it again, honestly, because there's a lot going on in that movie, and I'm not totally sure how to feel about it. But anyway, today I'm doing a museum day, so I just came from the Museum of Fine Art. It was nice, but this isn't something I've talked about on this channel, I don't think. I am a occasional wheelchair user, especially museums. I can't stand and walk for long periods of time. So I got a wheelchair, and it was the squeakiest wheelchair of all time. And people kept looking at me weird, and it made me really self-conscious. And it sucks having something that's supposed to help me end up making me feel worse. So, kind of a bummer. Didn't really enjoy it, to be totally honest. But yeah, I will say the people who were the nicest about it, people who pressed the door buttons and opened doors for me, were almost exclusively younger women, like women my age. Like the people that didn't give me weird looks were the people who were like my peer group. So be more like them. If you see somebody in a wheelchair, either be helpful or just be cordial. Don't act weird. Don't stop acting like a weirdo. So that's a little rant. Anyway, I'm about to go into the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, which is my favorite museum ever. So hopefully that'll make up for it. So I tried to go to the Gardner Museum and it was sold out. Tickets were sold out today. So it's okay. I'm gonna go visit the more historic part of Boston. I'm gonna go to Faneuil Hall. I'm gonna go to Quincy Market. It's an area that I like. But today was supposed to be museum day, and so far I'm kind of striking out a little bit, so I'm a little bummed out, but what can you do? That's life. Hi. So today is day 4 of my trip. I'm having a really good time. Today I went to the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, which is like my favorite museum of all time. I love it. And I also met up with a childhood friend for lunch. She took me this really cool spot that did like kind of Vietnamese fusion food, and it was really good. And they had coffee that was really good. And then she came to the museum with me. So I had a really fun day today. I slept a lot last night. I slept like 13 hours because all this walking has really tired me out. In a good way, of course. But still, I'm kind of sleepy. But yeah, so this has been really cool. I will say I've learned that I connect with people in a really different way when I'm by myself than when I'm with other people. Like, I've talked to people that I would have never talked to if I was with other people. Like, when I went to see the movie, I talked to the people in the row behind me, and the one girl asked like what I was in Boston for, and I was like, "Oh, I'm here to tour grad schools." And she asked me what I was studying, and I said I'm studying psychology, like doing research. And she said, "Oh, I actually have 2 friends that work in research psychology. I can put them in contact with you if you'd like." I was like, "Oh my God, that would be incredible." So I've kind of built some really unexpected connections since I got here. And then yesterday I was trying on clothes, and I could hear these 2 girls out in the fitting room talking about the stuff they were trying on. And I was like, I have no one here with me, so I'm just gonna ask them how this looks. So I was trying to dress on, and I was like, "Hey, does this look good on me?" And they were like, "Yeah, you look amazing." I didn't end up buying what I showed them because it was kind of expensive, but it was just really nice to kind of bond with people in that kind of way. Like I didn't even know their names, and they were still so sweet and caring, and uplifting to me, which was really, really cool. So yeah, I think I've learned a lot on this trip. I will explain that all in my closing thoughts at the end, but it's been an extremely cool experience, and I highly recommend traveling on your own if you can afford it, if you can take the time off. Um, it's been really, really cool and really, really fun. Hi, it's been a while. I'm filming this on February 8th, which is literally a month after I went to Boston. I just realized today that I never finished my video about going to Boston. Oops. But I want to talk about it now. There's a lot to say about my trip, but the main thing is just if you've ever been scared to do something alone or go somewhere alone, just do it. Just do it. Like, I was always scared to do that. I was scared to go do things by myself, and it's literally the best. It's the best thing ever. It was so much fun. I had the best time. I met the best people. It, like, it was just incredible. Um, and right after I got back,
I learned that I was accepted to grad school in Ireland at Trinity. So I will be moving there in September, and I'm so excited. Um, I cannot even explain how excited I am. Um, and I'm visiting in March, so I'll be going on another trip by myself, and I'm really excited for it. And yeah, I learned a lot in the time that I was there. I learned that I really enjoy being by myself, and that I'm really capable of connecting with other people, even if I don't have somebody I already know with me, which is, really valuable to know because I didn't really know that. And I learned that I don't need to have a plan all the time. I can take things day by day, and that works pretty much just as well, if not better. So yeah, it was incredible. Um, I probably would have had more to say and more succinct things to say if I filmed this sooner, but I didn't, and that's okay. But yeah, it was really, really incredible. I had an amazing time, and I cannot wait to travel on my own again soon in about a month. So, yeah, as always, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one.